Wednesday and welcome to the Contrarians. Tonight, it's yet another Contrarians live chat. Our topic tonight, eyes without a face. We've got a big panel. Let's do it, and we want to hear from you. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hey, welcome to the Contrarians. Tonight's topic, eyes without a face. If you don't know what that means, you will soon understand. Anyway, I want to welcome the panel tonight. Mr. Mike Ladano. There he is. Jamie Laszlo. Yeah, do something, Jesus. And then Tim Durling. All right, there you go. Peter Kerr. That's not very exciting. Okay, Martin. Do something. That's it. All right. Well, I was just talking to these gentlemen before we started, but I've already been out for happy hour, so this should be an interesting ride. So anyway, I want to welcome everybody in the chat. We've only got 22 people, 24 people. The Elder of Rock. Everybody salute the Elder. There he is. Jason's here. Kyle is here. Chrome Destiny. All right. People are here, and we do appreciate everybody showing up. So anyway, tonight's topic, eyes without a face. So we're going to get started. I'm going to start out with Peter Kerr tonight. So we're going to go Peter, Tim Durling, Jamie, look, wake up. What are you, taking a nap? Jesus Christ. Jamie Laszlo, Mr. Mike Ladano, and then we're going to go me and then Martin. All right, so let's get started. Peter Kerr, give me we're going to go 3, 3, and 4 like we always do. And we do want to hear from you in the chat. So, all right, let's get started. Peter, take it away.
Okay, the first one is Curtis Mayfield, who everyone knows for his Superfly. This is a soundtrack album called Short Eyes. Came out in 1977. I don't know anything about the movie other than it was set in a New York prison, and Curtis Mayfield plays one of the prisoners. So this goes to the theme. You've got these eyes. You've got she's looking, or he's looking in a different direction. Very stark-looking album cover. Perfectly starts off the show. Eyes without a face. Next one, number 2. Now you remember in the 90s when we had these god-awful various compilations where there was a tribute to Black Sabbath, a tribute to Led Zeppelin, a tribute to anything. Well, this one, Encomium, which is a tribute to Led Zeppelin in 1995. You've got that very kind of occultish looking eyes. Looks like it's kind of possessed. This album had 4 Non-Blondes singing Misty Mountain Hop, Hootie and the Blowfish singing Hey, Hey, What Can I Do? And Blind Melons singing Out on the Tiles. So if this is your bag, buyer beware. But
they got in nice and early on the tribute album craze. This was a pretty famous album at the time.
Yeah.
Right? And then they
that
just
Rollins
started coming.
band.
Yeah.
there were so many, and they were just god awful. It just became ridiculous. But yeah, anyway. The third one of my favorite films, A Clockwork Orange, the soundtrack from 1971. This is a mix of classical music and Wendy Carlos, who is famous for Moog Switched on Bach. I've just included it because part of the Droogs uniform, which is the gang, you see the eyeball. So there's a lot of modern imagery, eyes in the film, eyeballs, and that sort of fits into it. So I guess a lot of the picks that I've done are not necessarily eyes without a face, but an eye without a face. So I'll do more coming up. Anyway, that's my 3.
All right, just checking the comments quickly. Yeah, they're coming in now. We're starting to see quite a few. We got Creatures of the Night, says the Elder. We got Tool Anima, 13th Floor Elevators. So yeah, they're coming in. Eyes of Alice Cooper, Hawken Visions, Alan Parsons, Eye in the Sky. I think you're going to see some of these coming up. But let's move over to Tim.
All right, Tim, you're up.
Okay, so my first one, this symbol, this Eye of Horus, is going to pop up a lot. So I went with Billy Squier's 1993 album, Tell the Truth, which uses that image. And the next one is I made sure and told Grant I want it has to be the censored cover or it doesn't work.
You know,
Poison,
Tim, I've got your back. All
Open
right,
Up. Oh, I know you do. Open Up and Say Off from 1988. So yeah, the Kmart's, Walmart's of the world decided that this was too much to have for the youth of America, so they censored it or something. And then the last one is a compilation from 1989, Best of Crocus, Stayed Awake All Night, and it's got a little gremlin or something chewing at somebody's eye. I don't know if that artwork came from something else, but that's what I remember seeing it. So that's my first three.
Wow.
Excellent. Damn.
Terrible
Tim.
text on that one, eh? The text just ruins it. Yeah.
They even use a logo.
I don't mind the Crocus logo, but the best of I don't like, and I don't know. It just looks like it looks AI generated. Now when we look at this shit, see, I've been drinking. Sorry, I don't mean to use the word shit. When we look at this content, it looks AI generated now.
Yeah.
That's bad.
For sure. All right. I was going to go over to Jamie, but Jamie just left. So we'll
forget
Here it comes.
No,
Here it comes.
Go over to
Flower Kings. Look at you now. We got Kronos.
Well, thank God he's awake. Gee,
yeah, he's back. All right. Go over to Jamie.
Who did you go to happy hour with? You have friends outside of the internet?
No, I've got a lot of friends. No, they're all my friends that are subscribers, and we all go out. Come on, Jamie.
Or did Tim even do 3 there? Or did you just?
Tim
I did.
Billy
Squire, Poison, and Crocus.
All right. Yeah.
Cool. Enema was already talked about.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're going so fast.
Okay, and the eyes were following me as I walked by it. I said, "Oh, new tool. Yeah. Buying that." Nectar. Journey to the center of the eye. So there you go.
All right.
Is this the first Nectar album? I think it is.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Where's Rand?
Where's Rand at?
Where's Rand when you need him?
Where is Rand? Let me text him.
2020.
You guys keep going.
2020. Red Fang released. What the hell's the name of it? Arrows. And there's All Your Eyes right there. Stoner rock band.
I've never heard of that band. And how did you get turned on to them?
They've been around for a while. They got hilarious videos on YouTube of them just pounding beers and
sounds like me.
There's a Dungeons and Dragons one that's hilarious where kids are playing Dungeons and Dragons and they go out to beat up the kids and then the kids actually turn into wizards and warriors and kill the band.
Cool.
Right.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right. Over to Lodano.
Cool. I just happened to find one while I was sitting here next to me. I was going through my K section and upside down, there's some killer dwarves without full faces.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that graphic, Michael.
No, I know, but my first pick, I just happened to be there, Grant.
Jesus.
Just happened to be there, Grant. My first pick is by the Ozman, Osmosis, 1995. I've never liked this cover, but I've always loved this album. It's the one with Geezer on bass, and there's a lot of bottom end on this album. I think, though, it's actually the ballads are better than the rockers on this one. But that's just me. Anyway, he's got a couple of eyeballs embedded in his chest and you can't really see his face. So I'm saying that's eyes without a face and some teeth without a face too. I hate this cover. I don't know what the heck that means.
It is crap. Yeah.
You know what it means. You all know what this cover means.
You tell us.
You're putting me on the spot.
No,
I do not.
I'm not going to say it. You know what it means.
He's absorbing body parts through osmosis. That's all I got.
100%.
We're going to Canada for my second pick. And this guy's face is obscured by a helmet. He's the surveillance guy by Triumph. There's an eye. In the music video, it's like an actual guy. This kind of looks like a tiger eye, but in the music video, it's a guy with a helmet and you can see part of his face. But I actually really do like that album cover. I'm not sure how Tim feels, but I like the helmet motif. I love, like, you can see battle damage and he's got like a sight. Kind of Def Leppard did the same thing with Hysteria, the sight over the eye.
And
you know what drives me crazy about the cover though? Is because they put the eyeball helmet thing in the middle. It seems like it needs to be offset a bit.
Well,
it's in the
really
middle.
what you're missing there is the nose, but it is kind of off to the side. It's a huge helmet. Like if you see the music video, he looks like Dark Helmet.
Okay.
You're also missing good songs, good performances, and good production.
Ouch. Martin, pop off.
Lots of drum machine on that one, though.
Yeah, I think Tim's theory is that Gil doesn't play any drums on it at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Martin does not care for this record, in case you didn't pick that up.
I'm gonna rock you down, down, down. No,
that's a terrible song, Mike. Come on. That was bullshit.
All right, this is a shitty album. Let's move on. All right, O'Donnell.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, go on.
So pick number 3, I went with a single/EP. And this one's kind of messed up. It's The Clairvoyant by Iron Maiden. And while you do get a bit of Eddie's face there, you've also got some disembodied eyes. You've got the third eye in the middle there, but then you've got a fourth eye. It's really weird. I'm counting it because there are some disembodied eyes there. But Derek Riggs was just going off as a rocker during the Seventh Son era of Iron Maiden. And I think he specifically said, well, I know he specifically said he was sick and tired of drawing Eddies with an accent in people's heads. And he was an artist and he wanted to do art. So there's art. Those are my 3 picks.
They got the idea for the South Park characters where their faces, there's a space between the.
I think that's just a coincidence, but
okay.
Good call, good catch, Tim.
All right, let's take a quick look here. We've got Kate Bush, the kick inside, coming in. Julian Cope, Odin. We've got a correction on it's Bob Daisley, not Geezer there. Apparently, we've got
it's Geezer on Osmosis. It's Bob Daisley on No Rest for the Wicked.
All right.
Let's not have a fight here on the show.
Jefferson Starship, Modern Times, Inner Sleeve, Hawk and Visions, Beck, Sea Change. Sleepless, The Concise King Crimson. Nice one. Okay, over to Grant.
Me? Really? Already? All right. Shit. Jesus, Grant, get your shit together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to... Wait a minute. Where's my number 1? All right. So if anybody saw the thumbnail, Utopia... Come on, Todd Rundgren. Utopia is just one big eyeball.
Yeah.
No one picked it. See, when I do these, when I put this show together, I'm the last one to go. So either that's good or bad. But no one picked. This is an obvious choice, and so I'm going to take a point away from everybody here.
I've never seen it before.
Wow, I put 2 of these up. Which is, you've never seen this before, Tim?
Nope.
All right, well, remove Tim.
Yeah. And with that,
I'm not going to remove you. I love you. You know that. All right, number 2. Now we're talking about eyes without a face. How could you not pick the Residents? They have no face, but they all have eyeballs.
Yeah.
Again, this panel is just lackluster. And here you go. I'm bringing it 100%. Yeah. So yes, the Residents. How could you not pick you could pick multiple albums with the Residents, and it's all about the eye. Number 3, I'm going to go with, again, I'm surprised by this panel, but I'll try to go on. The Laws, which is a great record. I call it power pop if you want. They only put out 1 album. And I've told that story before. I saw the Laws at the Newport in beautiful Columbus, Ohio. There were like 20 people in the audience when this came out. And the Laws were out front of the Newport playing soccer with themselves. It was summer during OSU. So what are you going to do? Anyway, the Laws. There's my first 3, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Okay, my first pick, I went with Billy Idol. Rebel Yell with Eyes Without a Face on it, right? So we had to pick the album that inspired this whole thing, and then I looked at it and said, well, you can't see one of his eyes, so that worked out rather well. But this was a massive album. When I was going to university, it was a big dance album, right? It was good to have guitar and drums and all that stuff. It's like, oh well, there's some dance music that's actually fairly heavy, and this album definitely fit that. Next I've got Angel City or the Angels, Dark Room, good one. Angels. Yeah, there you go. There's the Australian version when they're called the Angels, and here, of course, they're called Angel City. And on the back, they're kind of in shadows and stuff, but you do see all their eyes. This is a fantastic album, one of the greatest albums ever made. It's my favorite by them, although track listings vary. So, and then my last one for this bunch is Queen Miracle.
Yeah.
where, you know, the back is definitely eyes without a face, lots and lots of eyes, not many faces here. I don't know. I was trying to work out the math. I don't know if that's faces without eyes or if that's eyes without faces. You guys tell me. But
There's no complete two sets of eyes, is there?
Yeah, there's
You can't-
five eyes. There's
Jeez.
5 eyes, and there's 4 partial faces. There's 4 people. There should be 8 eyes. So I don't know. Work it out. But there you go. On to Peter.
All I want to say is how the mighty have fallen, and I'll leave it at that. All right, Peter, you're
Radio. Pretenders Pact 1990, which is more or less a Chrissy Hines solo album. There you have Her Eyes. And yeah, I don't like this album much, but anyway, I think it fits the show.
Wait a minute, Peter. 1 second. How the mighty have fallen. It's like a theme with me right now.
I know.
Why don't we just rename
Yours were
this
the best.
show?
We know that.
Why don't we just rename this show The Mighty Have Fallen?
I think that would be great. All right, keep going. All right, sorry.
Okay. The Ronettes, the best mascara eyes in the business. The best of the Ronettes, the original Phil Spector hits. You can see where Amy Winehouse got her look, and multiple girl groups of the 60s onwards. So
Nice.
that fits that.
Sure.
And Third Eye Blind, the self-titled from 1997. I think that's a good one. That's a bit of a scary album cover. You can sort of see the hand, the eyes through the hand almost.
Now, are those guys butt rock? What do you think?
No, what you
They're a bit
mean?
light,
Wait
they're
a
a bit-
minute, Jamie. What? Not butt rock, Jamie. You know what he's talking about.
More like, yeah, they're in there with Tonic, bands like that. I wouldn't call that
No.
butt. No,
Candle
No,
Tonic.
I think you're right, Jamie. They're in that same group as Tonic. 100%.
Jangly.
Yeah.
The jangly.
The guy
So
from
Douche
Tonic.
Rock-
right.
Douche
What about
rock
Candle Block?
adjacent, are they?
I don't think they're douche rock.
No.
Adjacent.
Let me tell you a story. My son heard this
Proto.
record.
Proto douche rock.
He was born in 98. Okay. He heard this probably when he was, I don't know, 18 or something. And he totally thought this was a great record. He thought all the tracks were great. And normally he should like rap because of his age group. But he thought that the songs on here were really good. Production was good. He liked this record. Just gonna say.
Did they do Losing a Whole Year? Because that's a good song.
Yes. Yes.
don't know.
Yeah, that's
That's
a good
them.
song. That's not butt rock or douche rock.
It's a little light for. It's like douche light.
All right.
Well,
The
let's
lead
move on.
singer
Destiny
did
said-
play. The lead singer did play a douchebag in the movie School of Rock.
Well, Chrome Destiny said Third Eye Blind are kind of a MOR meets power pop, in his opinion. I don't, maybe.
Wow.
Could
All right.
be. Well,
Okay, let's move on to Tim.
So my next now, by the way, what Grant doesn't realize is that
oh
we took it upon ourselves to make sure that he could pick the ones he really wanted, because that's the kind of guys we are.
no.
And what does he
You
do?
didn't.
And what does he do? He throws
No.
it back on our faces. Okay.
Come on. Let's be fair.
There's not, if life isn't fair. So the
That's
first one
true.
is the 1982 album, which I've never really heard. Heard like
Well, at least
two
you're
songs
honest.
off it. Hughes Thrall. It's got a lot of eyes on it.
Masterpiece. Great album.
We did a one and done on my channel, and it fared
About a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. It was all right.
Masterpiece album, everyone. Check it out. Martin Popoff doesn't think so, but
No,
listen.
I don't like it.
Martin,
the
all right.
This is
We got
for me.
Martin. Wait a minute. What would you rate this out of 10? Come on.
I'd go 5.
Ooh,
5 out of 10.
geez.
Come on.
Bad
It's about a
production.
9.
I
Songs
get
are
it.
neither here nor
9.
there.
It's a
It
9.
reminds
get
me,
it. I
I
get
get
it.
bad memories of it, like Whitford St. Holmes kind of thing. You know,
What
two-
would you rate Whitford St. Holmes?
Oh, that's not very good either. I'd go 4 on that one. Yeah,
I
they
love
came
it.
back and did a reunion album that was pretty good. But yeah, these two went together for obvious
They
reasons.
do. They go hand in
Ground
hand.
cover, yeah, same time frame.
All right. Awesome. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
Peter.
so
I mean, Tim, whoever you are.
my second one is the first solo album from Loverboy guitarist Paul Dean called Hardcore. That's Rand Kelly on the cover, by the way. No,
It could be Rand.
I
You
don't
know
know.
what? Wait a
I
minute. This
hate
is
that
the
cover.
first time this has ever been on the Contrarians. Ever.
I used to have this album. I don't remember much about it past the fact it had Sword and Stone on it, which is pretty good. I mean, it's
I
basically
thought it was a little heavy. I thought it was a little
It's
heavier.
it's
right?
heavier than Loverboy, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's not that he's not that great a singer, so it kind of.
Mm.
And he does a version of "Draw the Line," the Ted Nugent song too, the one that Ted Nugent did, the Brian Adams song.
Interesting.
But anyway, so there's that one, and my last one is a single. Now, there's different versions of this single around the world. If you get the one in Canada, it's got a telephone on it, but I've got a UK one.
Oh.
Or Coney Hatch.
Oh,
Hey,
I don't have that one. It's this
Hey,
one.
Operator. Yeah, there's different ones. So this one is well, let's get an eye on. This is a UK one.
Got an eye.
Wow.
Well, I guess it's got eyes on it, but I now this is probably just zoomed in from the cover, but I like this.
So cool. I've never
here.
seen that before.
Yeah.
What country is that from?
It's well, I think it's from England. Just a second. It's one of these cool, like silver. It's got a silver label on it.
That's English. That's English label. Yeah.
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 I've got a Faith No More like that.
Yeah. So it's Hey Operator, and it's got Devil's Deck on the other side. It's got a small hole too. It doesn't have a.
That's what she said.
It's well, that's all right. Those are my three.
Okay, excellent. On to
All right,
Jamie.
ladies and gentlemen. All right, Jamie, you're up.
When I was walking away before, it was because I was going to get this cassette because that Crocus album reminded me of Udo.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Very much.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's a lookalike.
Yeah.
Except it doesn't have a gremlin on it. Yeah.
All right. This album right here is the one that gave me the idea for this show. When I saw it, I said, my God, there's a lot of these covers with just eyes and no faces. We should do a show. And that is this Asteroid, Garden Creatures. This is a CD. I think they're on, what are they on? Ripple? No, Heavy Psych Sounds. Pete Pardo sent me this CD. He had it. He said, you like Nirvana, so I'm going to send you this CD because they sound like Nirvana. And
Doesn't Pete, did Pete not like that?
Well, he doesn't like Nirvana. So I listened to it, and yes, it sounds like Nirvana, but if Nirvana wrote shitty songs. That's what that's all about.
Nice.
Next one. Someone already mentioned it. Eye in the Sky by Alan Parsons Project. Underrated little gem on this. Silence and I. Kind of a big, cool, epic song. Next one. Hardcore douche rock. I don't own it.
Oh God. Brace yourselves, everybody.
I do own one. I own their second album. I bought it.
Oh God.
I was desperate for something. I went to Best Buy wanting something. I said, I'll just buy this. And God, it was terrible. Nickelback, Silver Side Up.
Oh yeah.
Douche.
The first time Nickelback has ever been on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, the Contrarians will never be the same.
I feel sick.
I'm sorry.
I feel
That's
sick.
terrible.
That is terrible.
That was terrible.
All right, let's see what's going on here. We got Prong Cleansing is mentioned, Grateful Dead, Winterland 73 Box, Killing Joke, Extremities, Dirt, and Various Repressed Emotions. Yeah, some good ones coming in. Sword and Stone was written by Paul Stanley. Interesting.
Oh, very nice.
Very cool. Let's see what else we got here. Legendary Pink Dots, A Scented Candle, Yeah, Zero. Yeah, a lot of good ones. All right, over to Ladano.
When you mentioned the Billy Idol one, I grabbed Bruce Dickinson because I think that's kind of similar with the shadows in the eyes.
Yeah.
Looks like he needs to see a therapist or something because he doesn't look healthy in that picture.
He wasn't well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jamie picked a Canadian band. My next pick is also a Canadian band, and I cannot remember much about the Artificial Joy Club. I remember that they were like a male-female duo, and I remember that they were another band before this, and I can't remember. They were like a pop duo, and then they went alternative with this. This was around 1997, and I ended up with a bunch of these used at my store when I was managing a used music store in the 90s. But that's like a negative, I think, of a photograph of an eye. It's almost like the one eye photograph of The Laws, but zoomed in and negative.
100%. Only The Laws was a much better record. I'll leave it.
I can't say. I think this was. I don't remember. I think they were okay. I think this band was okay from what I can remember. Not my cup of tea, but yeah. Anyway, my next pick.
One-on-one.
That's it. One-on-one. I remember that. Yeah. Remember they had that one
Angel in My Pocket.
Yeah, they had that
Very
one
poppy.
hit.
Yeah.
Put your hand in my pocket.
No, thank you.
No, no, thank you.
Paul Stanley. I'm quoting Paul
I know.
Stanley.
I know. It's
No,
JP.
no, that's fine.
People.
What was I going to say? Okay, so yeah, next pick. As soon as this topic came up, the song "Electric Eye" by Judas Priest came into my mind. But they don't have an album called "Electric Eye," but they do have a DVD called "Electric Eye," and it's all of their music videos. And I actually recommend this DVD quite a lot. It's pretty complete. It's got everything from the Rock-a-Rolla video all the way up to, I think that was Angel of Retribution. So it was pretty comprehensive. And there's their what they call the Devil's Tuning Fork in the middle of the eye with some lightning, just for why not? Dare I say, why not? When you've got an eyeball, you got to do some lightning with it if you're a heavy metal band. Iron Maiden learned that lesson on their first album. Anyway, my third pick for this round is King Diamond, The Eye, which came up in the comments earlier. And that's a very nice purple album cover. I really like it, actually. I like the kind of pewter jewelry that is containing that glass eye. I assume it's a glass eye.
Hey, Mike.
Hey,
you know, it matches Jamie's sweatshirt.
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
it does.
Look at that.
Look at that. It even has the same kind of texture, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Nice.
Anyway, I don't know a heck of a lot about King Diamond. I think this came out around 1990-91, and I just always liked the album cover.
Nice.
Well,
Cool.
Owen Warlord I can't even pronounce his name, is right on the same page as you.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, over to Grant. We got to speed it up, guys. We got a show at 8, right?
God. Well, we'll be all right, maybe. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me scroll. All right, so I went Residents, I went Laws. All right, I'm surprised with this group. Martin Popoff being a big fan of this artist. I'm surprised he let me down. But you know what? I'm here to give him redemption. Roger Waters amused to death, right?
Nice. Yeah,
Martin, come on.
Very cool.
Jesus.
Good one. Yeah.
So that's a good one. There's a big eyeball and a monkey, and you know, I'm a big monkey, so we're all good. My next one, number 5, I'm going to with Styx, Pieces of 8, because what a great record for one, and where's her other eyeball?
Yeah.
So we're going to go with that. No one mentioned that in the comments. This has been mentioned in the comments, and what a great band this is. Mr. Bungle. Disco Volante. Come on. You know what this reminds me of? What was the Salvador Dali film back in the Martin, you know, you're artsy. Salvador Dali.
Of them like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
yeah,
you know, it does remind me of that, only there's no blade cutting her eyeball open. It's very similar. Anyway, so there you go. 3. There you go.
All right. My next one is very much like Queen the Miracle. We got the Max Webster album with the blockheads, the famous blockheads that they made out of paper mache, and they got stolen off the stage and stolen back and all that. But artwork by Terry Watkinson. So you've got 3 eyes on again, same face situation as this one here. Next, I picked a real metal obscurity that I don't own anymore, but I used to listen to this album a lot. Tyrant Pace, Eye to Eye. This actually is one of those really cool mid-'80s German metal bands. I think they're German. It sounds very German. I think it's on a German label, but it was very cool. It was like who was that? Trance. Trance was a great band from that time. Gravestone was another good one. Who was that other one? Keen Hugh, although they might have been Swedish. But there was a lot of this good stuff that came after the new wave of British heavy metal. This was a good one. And my final one, going to the new wave of British heavy metal, is Samson Head On. Where I just got in an argument with a guy about that, you know, which is that somebody thinks this is a better album than Shock Tactics. I like Shock Tactics a lot more. I think they improved big time. But Bruce Dickinson, and yeah, you've got Thunderstick here with the mask on, so you can see his eyes but not his face. So
bring on the GIMP.
And yeah, this
all I have to say.
Album cover too. So all right, over to Peter.
Bring on the GIMP, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, at a Walmart near you. Dr. Hook, Sometimes You Win from 1979. So this is an interesting one.
Where is it? Hold on, give me a second. The pressure is unbelievable. Dr. Hook, yes, I got it.
Beautiful. So you've got 2 dices and 2 eyes. The sad eyes, you see the tear, and Split. And that had the hit Sexy Eyes for those that are interested. Next one, Ian Brown, ex-singer of the Stone Roses, that classic band, Music of the Spheres. So this is like a little slide of an eye. It's held together. That's kind of an interesting album cover. Next one, remember the Vapors? They had a bit of a hit in this world called
New
Turning
Wave.
Japanese. Now, this album cover is interesting. It depicts an assassination scene close up, but from a distance looking like a human eye. The assassin can be seen on the roof at the top right of the album cover, putting away his sniper rifle. So this is like a Where's Wally, but, from a distance, it's like a human eye. So this was their follow-up to that first album, Nuclear's Day. Didn't sell anything, and sadly they got dropped. But, yeah, it's a bit of an interesting album cover. And I'll finish off with the Cranberries, Bury the Hatchet from 1999. There you go. Single eye without a face.
That looks like a Storm Thorgerson cover.
Yeah, 100%.
I've always hated that cover.
Martin, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at it. Obviously, it looks like one.
I think it is. I think it is.
It's about the time when he was doing all that work, right?
Yeah.
So if you really do know, please leave a comment in the comment section, please. I think it is, though.
All right. Okay, on to Tim.
Okay, so my last four. The first one, it's got different covers, so I specified the U.S. cover for the band
Yes.
Naked Eyes from the mid-'80s. The album's called Burning Bridges. Sometimes it's just self-titled. They had Promises, and Always Something There to Remind Me. I don't know if those are both in the same album or not, but anyway, there's some eyes. And the next one is a gentleman that our good friend Peter Kerr had the pleasure of interviewing, Mr. Reb Beach, with his solo album, A View from the Inside, which has an eye on it. Next up, someone mentioned this in the comments, 13th Floor Elevators, Psychedelic Sounds, or the Psychedelic Sounds of the 13th Floor Elevators. That's about as 60s psychedelic as it gets.
100%.
And finally, The Pretty Things with Savage Eye.
Nice.
Which also kind of looks like Hypnosis, but I don't know if it is.
It's not.
It's not, okay.
She's got a pretty eye, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, quick look at the comments. We got to look at your what was motivated by your eye. Look at yourself. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see. Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra, Juggernaut, Trouble Within. Yeah, Juggernaut. Forgot about those guys. That was a great heavy band. Toad self-titled, says Chrome Destiny. Excellent. Cars self-titled. Rip Roy Thomas Baker. That's what I heard. I think it was right, or was it earlier today? Yeah, that we were getting news about that. Okay, over to Jamie, right?
Yep. All right,
I don't know. I'm assuming it's Jamie.
It's Jamie.
Yeah. All right.
I saw Chrome Destiny mention Toad self-titled, so I grabbed it off the shelf.
Oh.
Oh, nice. You've actually got a copy. Man,
it's
impressive.
Not an original. It's not an original.
Oh, well,
like
then I don't care then.
1980 repress, maybe.
Poser.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of money for the original.
Well, get an original and get out.
I tried my vinyl and it pissed me off right before the show. I don't know where it is. So I busted out my Miles Davis box set instead, and Miles in the Sky. It was always an eye to me. What do you guys think? I always saw
it looks like an eye or a butterfly that's getting ready to give birth.
Abstract kind of eye thing.
Center of the earth.
Yeah.
I think it's the apocalypse. I think that's what it represents.
Or like a stone cut in half or something.
Yeah.
I'm bringing up Roger Waters as well with his Dark Side of the Moon redo with the dog eyes. This is the quintessential
cover.
Quintessential CD you play once and never play again.
Yeah.
Let me see what he was up to. That's really interesting. I'll never listen to it again. Rainbow, Straight Between the Eyes. Stupid dumb cover. Eyes in the back. Stupid eyes in the front.
Crap.
Stupid
there it is.
Guitar going through the forehead. Ridiculous. And Pearl Jam, No Code, has all kind of different eyes without a face on this. This is an original. I'll make up for the Toad. This is an original 1996 near mint pressing.
I had an original copy of it, but I traded it in at Used Kids like in 98.
I still have mine, so yours doesn't
I'm
count.
assuming, Jamie, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably will.
Wow. Wow. Okay, cool. On to Michael.
Okay, well, my first of this final set is, I think, the third single that we're going to take a look at tonight, and this is Queensryche with Bridge. And it's actually a really sad song. It's about, well, it seems to me it's about Chris DeGarmo's lack of a relationship with his father.
Yeah.
And if you read through a lot of Queensryche lyrics, even Rage for Order, there's father references, but there's the eye of the father with the reflection of the son. And it's a fantastic single. All the B-sides are, I believe, live acoustic in London. So highly recommend that folks check out this single. It's really, really, really good. My second pick is an album that we looked at last week. It was Alice Cooper, The Road. But I'm really, really excited that now we have a new Alice Cooper coming with the original band. That's pretty cool. I don't know about you guys. I just can't get into this album.
I can't get into it either. And I listened to the new song and I was not impressed. Yeah. That's the chorus. Yeah. Like, come on, guys.
I'm hoping there's more there, but as for Road, I really wanted to like it because the concept this time was that he was recording the album with his live band. This is the only album with Nita Strauss on guitar. So, and I'm disappointed that I'm disappointed. But anyway, we get a new Alice Cooper this year, so that's great. Third pick of this round is the previously mentioned Def Leppard, but a different album. This is Adrenalize, and apparently this is supposed to represent what when adrenaline hits your blood system and your eyes go, and you can see some fracturing there. When I was a kid and we got our first computer, I used Microsoft Paint to draw this eyeball and every variation of this eyeball from the singles, and I wish I still had that. But
wow,
yeah. Not a great album, but
Microsoft Paint, like that's to do anything in Microsoft Paint, you deserve a medal.
Boy, LaDonna, you're really dating yourself on that.
Hey, statement. I think I'm already dated. My face has done that for me. Yeah. My final pick, and a band that I really like, and I would like to dedicate this one to our absent friend Johnny Klauser. This is a band called Loudness from Japan, and this is Hurricane Eyes. I think this is the second last album with Minoru Nihara on lead vocals. I think there was one more album after this, but I really like Hurricane Eyes. They were starting to get more commercial at this point, which was really actually very far away from their roots. They were very thrashy, almost proto-thrashy on their first 4 Japanese albums. But they did re-record some stuff from those early albums. There's So Lonely, which is Ariel's Lament from Disillusion, and they did SDI on this album again. Fantastic album. Highly recommend Hurricane Eyes by Loudness, and that's me.
Excellent work there, LaDonna.
Good job. Okay, Grant, final 4.
Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, number 8. And I'm surprised that Mr. Popoff didn't mention this because he's a big fan. At least that's what I've read in the papers. Adrian Belew, Inner Revolution, which is a great.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, Martin? Isn't this a great?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a good album with a nice full band sound, and it's serious, and because he's got a lot of flippant stuff later on. But this is when he was.
This is such a good record.
He was going to actually make it, kind of thing, right?
Yep, 100%. So there you go, Adrian Belew, brilliant artist. Oh, I love it. Now the other thing, LaDonna mentioned this, but I think he's kind of dropped the ball. Because this is an album that Martin loves. And come on, it's all about Martin. Def Leppard Hysteria. Look at the damn eyeball on this thing. LaDonna, how could you miss this?
It's another one of those shared eyeballs between two faces. Look
at it. It's like someone's having like an outer body experience. Yeah. What a horrible record. All right. Anyway, so Def Leppard Hysteria. God,
great album.
Let's hope the 80s don't come back. All right, number 7. This is a good part of the 80s, ladies and gentlemen, because I think this record still sounds good. And of course, come on, Daryl Hall and Jono's Private Eyes, they are sharing a head.
Nice.
There's 2 eyeballs, but where's the other eyeball?
Yeah.
And thank God this doesn't sound like a Hysteria. Gee, many Christmas.
Grant, a lot of these picks, if you take them like 2 faces on one head, a lot of body horror tonight on tonight's show. Like the Queen album's body horror.
Yeah.
This is body horror or horror. One of the two.
Horror.
Anyway, number 10, my number 10. This was mentioned in the chat. Sweet, give us a wink. Yeah. Now this counts because it's not we only have, well, maybe it doesn't count.
Well, it totally counts. That's not a full face.
Not a
Yeah.
full face. We
Mouth.
got one eyeball.
One. Yeah.
You got
Martin,
an
does this
eyeball, a
count?
closed eye, and the bridge of a nose. That's it.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
I'm
counts.
gonna
The
let
thing that
Martin
always
decide.
annoyed me about this one is that it almost seems like, you know, pulling a record out and having the eye change seems like the wrong technology to make this concept work, sort of thing of winking, right? It's like it's like a bad tool to be able to make a wink, right?
The only redemption that I have is this is a great Sweet album. So
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go. I get a
That-
pass.
yeah.
Whatever.
Absolute
So there you go.
classic,
That's
yeah.
my number 10.
Nice. All right. So my final four, I don't know why I went with this one because I didn't own it either, and I don't even remember what it sounds like. But Pez Band, Laughing in the Dark.
Because you're a big power pop guy.
Yeah, I really it got me curious. Not curious
where
enough to
is
have
it?
listened to it already, but I want to go hear this album again because I can't remember what it sounds like. Pez Band, Laughing in the Dark. I think
Hold on.
they're-
Oh, there it is. I can't
they're
find it.
covering
There it
their
is.
eye. Yeah, there we go. So they're covering their mouths, I guess, on it. And this would be their second album, right? Because the first one's got that black and white picture of them, I think, on the cover. Might be just called Pez
Yeah,
Band.
weren't these on Passport and Passport went bankrupt?
Oh, really?
So I don't think
Okay.
these ever really got a CD release. These were all like on vinyl.
Yeah. All right, my next one is Peter Gabriel Melt. And just for kicks, I took out Scratch as well, where you can't see his whole face. And I took out Car or Raindrops, whatever you want to call it, where his face is a little obscured. But yeah, there's Melt. But I almost went and pulled out the I've told you guys the story about having a 128 square foot poster of this
Oh yeah.
in 4 massive fold out panels, which would have been hilarious to show. But no, I couldn't find it. But anyways, I think that one kind of fits as well, and it's good that there's 3 of them. And then I went with Rainbow, Difficult to Cure, where they are covering their faces, of course, and also on the back, same kind of deal. Takes us all back to the merry times of COVID. And then
Is
my
that-
last one.
Is that a Hypnosis, though? It looks like Hypnosis.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And finally, I went with the Damned Stiff Singles, 1976 to 77. That's the wrong cover, actually.
Well, you
It's-
know.
It's actually really cool because it's the shot of that single that they put out. It might have been Neat. I can't remember. One of the early singles where they all got bags over their heads, so you could just see their eyes through the thing. And it's actually a really striking cover. And I don't know why I took this out. This was going to be one of my cheats with something, but Wishbone Ash, No Smoke Without Fire. And I couldn't find my Status Quo Live, but that one's where all the rips are all over and you can't see their eyes. So I had those as sort of cheats. But yeah, those are my final 4. And let's just take another quick look over the comments before we head off. We know Martin likes punk music. Absolutely, Kiefer. Let's see. Artificial. Yeah, we did that one. GBH, Midnight Madness and Beyond, 86. Nice. Let's see. Napalm Death, Inside the Torn Apart, Chrome Destiny.
100% one marathon. That's what I do.
Okay. All right, there you go. Oh yeah, Pink Floyd Pulse. All right.
I guess we're done.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate everybody in the except one Martin who's giving me crap. No, I like you anyway, but it's true. Anyway, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. If you'd like to support the channel, please, we have a Patreon. Join that. You could be on these panels. We'd love to have you. The shows go up in advance. There's interaction. It's a great thing. Also, if you don't want to go to that route, we have a Ko-fi. Buy us a pint or a cup of coffee. We'd love to have that. We also take donations. There were no donos tonight, so I'm a little bit let down. But I've been out drinking, so I'm all right. I'll be all right. But anyway, please like, subscribe, buy some merch. We do have a link down below where you can get yourself a shirt. Come on, support us that way. Anyway, we like to talk music, and really that's what it's about. This show is all about trying to turn you on to stuff, and that's all it is. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming. We will see you next week. I don't know what the topic is, but
We
tune
do.
in. We'll be back.
We
Do
talked
we know
about
what
that.
the topic is?
Yes, we do.
What is the topic, Tim?
Do you want me to say it?
Do
Clocks.
it.
Clocks.
Don't be a pussy. Do it.
Album covers
Okay.
with clocks.
All right.
Album covers with clocks. So tune in next week,
We're
everybody.
gonna rock out with our clock out.
All
All right. So there you go. All right, everybody. We'll see you. Keep it clean. All right.
All right. Thanks very much. See you later.
Bye.